America 5288, and I have a couple of plants that have produced so many leaves that I need to start harvesting them. I don't mean to kid you in the sunlight. So I have my basket. There it is, an empty basket, and I'm gonna fill it up. So I think I'm going to harvest the taro today. Taro leaves, not the actual taro root. A lot of people buy the taro root, but they don't plant it, and you can plant it. You can. I'm gonna show you. And some people thought that this was stop talking to me, chickens, y'all breaking my train of thought. They thought that these were elephant ears. These are not. They're not elephant ears. That's taro. And taro, you can eat the leaves and you can eat the root. Now, we're going to harvest the leaves today and we're going to make something delicious out of it. A lot of Polynesians eat taro leaf instead of dasheen. Dasheen is the callaloo leaf that I grew on the other side. Let me show it to you. So this is taro leaf, right? Aren't they pretty? They are so pretty. You can eat that, but you got to cook it 30 minutes, more than 30 minutes, no less than 30 minutes, over 30 minutes, or you're going to have the experience like I had years ago where your throat get all itchy and you think you're going to drop dead. So you can cook the same dish that you cook with callaloo. Now, some people in other islands use the taro bush instead of, now we call this dasheen, but I don't know what everybody's calling this callaloo. Callaloo I thought was the actual dish, but here it is right here. So instead of using that, I'm gonna use the taro leaf and I'm gonna get this thing down under control because they're starting to spread, which is wonderful because I'm getting more tubers, but I need to scale down the leaves and harvest them while they're young because when they get older, they get really tough. I have it all over. I have them in pots and I have them in the ground. We're gonna deal with the ones in the ground first, okay? Just a sec. Should have got my machete. I don't know where I put it. One down. Don't need the stem. You can't eat the stem. So, well, you can, but I don't. The stem is super itchy. I know I look like Mr. Snuffleupagus. So I'm just gonna cut that off, right? All I want is the leaves. This can go back to the land. And hopefully the wasps don't get mad at me again. Shouldn't say their name, huh? Shouldn't say their names. I don't want to get too comfortable near here because I know there's a wasp nest here. I haven't taken care of it yet. This one has to go. Anything that's in my way, I'm cutting down and I'm gonna cook. This was such a good idea to plant these here. Such a good idea. See what I'm doing? Right into my basket it go. Let's see here. Don't want to take too many leaves off. But I do need to clear the walkway. And you see I'm dropping all the stems back in there, giving it back to the land. Should have tied my hair up, huh? Should have tied my hair up. Live and learn, huh? Cut that one off. I don't want the stems. Now they grow taro in the Polynesian islands, and I believe they make lau lau out of this, which is, I mean, they take the leaves, the biggest leaf, and they lay it out, and they mix coconut milk with some what is it, corned beef, and they layer it, and then they wrap it up, and they make it out of just like a taro leaf vegetable meat, I don't know, patty, and it's so good. And then there's palusami. I believe that's the next one. Palusami. I think the Tahitians. I haven't tried the Tahitian way, but it looks like it was really good. I've had the Samoan way and I've had the Hawaiian way. So they're good. They are good. Let's see. I was gonna take some from the container area, but they look like they're struggling and they're putting off a lot of babies. I don't want to stop them from producing. I think that Texas native soil has a lot to do with me getting a whole bunch more tubers and having runners. They have a lot of runners. So I'm gonna sit down over here on the sidewalk. I'm gonna cut these off. We're gonna have a little discussion. Okay, so I am sitting here with my taro. I'm getting ready to call it callaloo. And the first thing I'm doing is I'm going to cut the stem off, right? I don't want those. I'm just gonna throw those back in the bush. Then we're gonna take these inside and we're gonna wash them off. So that's, I mean, they're coming from dirt. Y'all wondering why I'm just haphazardly putting them on the ground? I have to find my machete. This is not gonna work. So let's get to it. Let's go inside and wash them off. So I have the water in here, and where's my salt? Here it is. Just grab any old salt, dump it in there, right? We're gonna put these taro leaves in here and make them sit. That should kill any bug that I didn't see when I was picking. I didn't see any bugs on it. I don't think bugs like taro. Good, because I like taro leaves, and that's good. So look how quick the stem turned black, so don't worry about that. Let me turn the light on so you can see what I'm talking about. Don't worry about that. If you buy these from a market, if you see they're black, don't worry about it. That doesn't mean they weren't freshly picked. I just picked these, what, 10 minutes ago? Not even 10 minutes. And they're already black. Get in these that don't look like taro leaves out of here. Still picking leaves out of the basket. I'm gonna use my big pot for this one. You don't have to go to the supermarket. You could do it yourself. Even though the root, when it went up, the root is a tuber. So it sends off pups like strawberries. So once you get one to grow or two to grow, I don't know if they're spraying them with inhibitor now, because I had two that I bought recently to show you guys, and they went bad. They never sprouted any studs like potatoes, like it never chitted like a regular potato. And they're chitting. When I say it chits like a ginger would chit. It looks like that. See how they didn't spray these. See how they chit? Some of them will not because they sprayed them. So if you see that on a taro root, buy it and put it in some dirt, because it will grow. And you will get, one will turn into 10, 20, 30 in a year. Get some good soil and they'll grow. So we're washing these. I'm gonna let these sit in the salt water for a little while. I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna wash them again. 3 times I'm gonna do this. Okay? I'll be right back. Just realized that I didn't show you how I strip the leaves. Now I've already cleaned most of them, so I went and got 2 leaves that I'm not gonna use because they're old. But I'm gonna show you what you need to do to use these taro leaves. Now this is the old leaf. I'm not gonna use them, throw this in the back in the yard. But you need to take the main stem off, right? So what we do is we take that off. That rib has to go. It has to go. And the reason why it's so hard is because this is an old leaf. So I'm just gonna take that rib off. That is where most of the itchiness of the taro leaf is going to get you. So all I have is this. See that? The main rib is out. You have this. Okay, so I think you got it. This one, as I said, I'm not gonna use these. I'm gonna throw them back in the yard and compost them. So let's go over to the other side. The mosquitoes are biting me. Jesus Christ. Let me wash my hands, okay? Okay, so I've shredded my leaves, but I need to still cut them up because they have to be really, really fine shred, right? But in the meantime, and in between the time, we need to season our pot, or, you know, get our vegetables in there. So the ingredients are garlic, bell pepper, onion, corned beef, and I have some coconut milk here. Okay, so the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a little bit of oil in here. And I'm gonna season the pot with my garlic, bell pepper. Let me get my onion chopped real quick. Let me show you a trick that my family showed me when I was a little girl. Move these out of the way, pull this down so you can see what I'm doing. So I'm gonna take my knife, right? And I'm gonna cut halfway down, right? And what you're doing is a tic-tac-toe. This is so you don't have to deal with this onion very long. And you turn it on its side and automatically diced. See that? And just continue on with that. And then you do the same thing. Turn it on its side, automatically diced. And don't cut yourself. Once you lose your balance, just start chopping this stuff up. Remember to turn your fingers in. Don't be like me. Might chop yourself. Take these, put it in the pot. Let me turn my flame down. I don't want to burn my garlic. We're just sweating the vegetables. I can smell it. I turned my flame down. It was on high. I turned it down to 4. Then we're going to take our taro, right? I'm turning this down a little bit more. And we're going to take our taro, right? Let me pull you back up and back. So we're going to take our taro, right? It's all binded together. And I'm going to roll it up, right? Now we need to cut this into fine, fine strips, right? So let me move my pot, move closer to you. Oh, you can't see. I'm a lefty, so it's hard for me to show you. So I'm going to turn this, move this out of the way, and I am going to cut little fine strips. And just hold it together with your hand. Make sure you don't cut yourself, okay? No rush. We turn the flame down so you're not rushing. Make sure aromatics do not burn. Turn this off. That's how I'm gonna make sure. Now, the thing they don't tell you about taro is it's very good for your cholesterol. What it does is it slows stuff down, slows the absorption of sugars and starches and all the bad stuff that raises your cholesterol levels. And it makes you produce less bile. Now, if you have liver problems, I don't know. You need to look it up. But a lot of Polynesians use this to control their cholesterol and their diabetes. It also aids in digestion. Of course it is. It's a vegetable. It's a green vegetable. So we're going to put this in the pot. Cut this up some more. Make sure all of my stuff is chopped up. I got more. All right. Get some more greens out. Hold it together. Fine chop. I started eating this while I was stationed in Hawaii. I had a lot of Samoan friends, and I remember them cooking something similar to what we called kalaloo, except it had coconut milk in it. Now, the Trinidadian people, their kalaloo has coconut milk in it, so it's similar to theirs, not to the Jamaican style. So I was like, wow, there's so many similarities. The only different thing is that they use corned beef and they use a lot of salmon. Not a lot of salmon. They use a lot of Spam. I don't like Spam. I don't care who cooks it. We used to have to eat that as a kid, and I promised myself I would never force myself to eat it again. I haven't tried it in like 30, 40 years. We used to eat that and potted meat a lot. That was the only thing that they could put in our little brown paper bag, lunch bag. Yeah, I remember that Red Devil potted meat. Oh, I liked it when I was a kid, but you know, after you eat it for years, you start to dislike it heavily. Spam, same thing. We used to eat Spam all the time. Now I don't like it. Ate it too much. But, you know, maybe I need to try it again because they say your taste buds change every 10 years. So, all right, we got our taro in there, and I'm gonna shake my milk up, my coconut milk up. Okay, it's open, and we're gonna pour that in there. Let's turn our flame back on. We're not gonna put water in there just yet. And I'll tell you how much coconut milk this is in just a second because it's a lot. It's more than the normal. It's about 2 of those. This is 30, no, it's 1 pint. Okay? We're gonna leave this alone. I'm gonna go ahead and put some pepper in there. I'm not gonna put any salt because in the corned beef there is salt. You don't need any extra salt. But you do need a little bit of pepper, so I'm gonna put that in there. And I'm gonna shake maybe a tablespoon in there. Right? Let me bring you closer. Closer. Looked at how much milk is in there, and there's not enough, so I'm gonna go ahead and get maybe a cup of water, and we're gonna steam this thing down. I put it on medium low, and I'm gonna get a lid. I'm gonna cover it up. I'll see you in a second. While the taro is on the stove steaming down, ooh, I gotta turn it down a little bit. And I need to put some more water in here. There's not enough water. While the taro is steaming down, I'll put another cup of water in there because it's not enough. It's not enough liquid in there. I think I'm gonna put 2 more cups. I had more taro leaves than I thought. Okay. That's better. While the taro leaves is steaming down, what I was saying, get some cassava. Called Yuca. You could buy it in your frozen food department. It should be where the fruit is. And you put it in a pot, put it on high. Let's get some salt. About that much. I have about 5 pieces of cassava in there. Put some salt in there to help it out. Yeah, that's not enough salt for me. Put a little bit more. So that's about a tablespoon of salt in there. We're gonna bring that to a boil. So there's the cassava, and that is the taro. Now that the taro is boiling, we are going to turn the heat down to about 5. Make sure that the liquid, there's enough liquid in it. See that? We don't want it to boil down and burn. So you gotta make sure enough liquid is in there. So I put 2 more cups in there. I think that's enough. I think maybe 1 more cup. Maybe one more cup of water, just for good measure, to make sure this thing don't burn. Depends on how much excuse me, I'm gonna say yuca. Yuca's over there. It depends on how much taro root you have, and I had quite a bit. That's why I use that big old thing of coconut milk. So here we go, right there. It's cooking. We're gonna let it simmer down. We're gonna let it cook 30 minutes, no less than 30 minutes. Once it comes to a boil, 30 minutes. I don't mean to sound like your mama. I'm not your mama. Everybody only have one mama, or maybe 2 if you have a stepmama, but you're gonna let this cook for 30 minutes. Same thing with the cassava. You're gonna let that cook no less than 30 minutes. This one, go over 30 minutes if you can, okay? Don't just stick to it. Let's say 40 minutes, okay? So I'm gonna set my timer for 40 minutes. The reason why I do that is because I told you about that burn, that itchiness. We don't want that. We want to avoid that at all costs. The only thing we haven't put into this recipe right now is the corned beef. That is going to be last. I would taste this, but it's not cooked yet. I'll taste it once we get to the 30-minute mark, or to the 40-minute mark. So, see you in 40 minutes. Just a second. All right, I'm back. So the pot has been going for about 38 minutes. It's time for me to take a taste. Tasty taste. Now, I got another onion out, right? I opened my corned beef hash and I decided I'm gonna put some coconut cream in there. If you have the coconut cream, go ahead and use that. It makes the sauce thicker. Here we go. Need salt. Need salt. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put the coconut cream in first, and then I'm gonna see about the salt because it's not enough salt in there. What's the date on this thing? 2025. I don't like this watery thing on top. All right, coconut cream. I left the pot uncovered the entire time I was boiling it. And I need some salt. Boil this down a little bit. And take another taste. I'm so used to having pepper and stuff. It's weird for me to taste something without pepper. All right. I might have to put a pepper in it because that's just me. That's the Jamaica. This recipe is actually a Fajian recipe. Ooh, that made it sweet. I'm gonna cut another onion up. I'm gonna rough chop this onion and put it in there. So I'm gonna dice it into fours. A little bit more salt. Now let me tell you the benefits of taro. Taro helps to fight cancer because it has a lot of vitamin C. It slows down or stops your high blood pressure. It aids in digestion, so if you're constipated, eat this. It has vitamin A, vitamin C. That's why it fights cancer, because of the vitamin C. The vitamin A is good for your eyes. It fights cholesterol and diabetes. It gets rid of a lot of the bad things in your body that cause you to get sick. So, diabetes, high blood pressure, cancer, and eyesight. Well, it helps the eyesight. The rest of it fights. So, let me get my corned beef. Not scald myself. Ooh. All right. Scared myself. Let me get a spoon. This is ridiculous. I've been using this. I've been using this knife. It's not what it's for. That is not what it's for, Jamaica. Where is my spoon? It's not what it's for. So I'm going to mix the corned beef in. And I got my cassava boiling. I need to turn that off. That should be done. Cassava, yuca is the same thing. So earlier I was talking to you about callaloo. So if you look up a callaloo recipe for Trinidad, it's going to tell you use dasheen, which is taro. But callaloo in Jamaica is a totally different plant. So in different islands, they call the same thing the same word does not mean the same thing. Callaloo in Jamaica is the actual plant that is identified in the dish for callaloo. And callaloo in Trinidad, they use taro leaves. Put some onion in there. Either way, though. So if you look up callaloo, you're probably going to see everybody else's version of callaloo, which is the taro. But a callaloo in Jamaica is a different plant. Just to make myself clear, because I was a little confused earlier. I had to look it up. I was like, okay, why is Jamaica different? Well, Jamaica calls a different plant callaloo. In other countries, they call callaloo a dish, but they use the taro leaf. All right, so I got that in there. Let me mix that in. And let it boil for a few minutes. Uncovered. You want to keep this thing green. You throw all my trash out. So I've cooked it for a few more minutes and the fire is off. I'm not going to cover this. I'm just going to let it cool down because I can't eat it right now. I took the cassava and we put it, or I put it, not we. I'm here by myself right now. I put it in the sink to cool off, strain it. So that's how I'm going to eat it. I'm going to pour that over the cassava. Cassava is yuca, if you don't know. They sell it in the frozen fruits department. It's pretty good. It tastes better than potatoes to me. And it's better for you than potatoes. If you have diabetes, cassava, yuca is a better root vegetable to use. You can also buy it fresh, but I always buy it frozen because it's cheaper. So I'll see you in a few minutes when the taro, what did they call it? I'll give you the name. When the taro cools down, all right? All right, so here we go. It's called ruru. Ruru. It's a Tahitian dish. I don't know. I think I should be using a spoon, right? Because it's sort of a stew. Look at that. See that? Let me pull y'all down so you can see. See that? Isn't that pretty? So, let me set y'all up so you can see. All right, here we go. Moment of truth. Now, I know this is going to be sweet because it has coconut cream in it, and coconut cream is sweet. So, we'll see. I'm not really a sweet person. I'm a sweet person, but I don't like sweet food. That didn't come out right. So, let's try the ruru. R-O-U, R-O-U. Tahitian. Here we go. Hopefully I don't burn my mouth. It definitely tastes the coconut. Your kids will eat this for sure. It's a little sweet, but it's good. It just tastes like savory coconut. And then you get a crunch of a leaf. You don't taste the taro. I don't taste greens. I just taste coconut cream and coconut milk. It's really good. Do this again. Let me do another taste test. Let me make sure I wasn't wrong. It's good. It's not the best that I've had. I like Jamaican food better, but this is good. Make this for yourself. I mean, first of all, it's going to help you. Diabetes is going to clean out your digestive tract. It's going to help stabilize your blood sugar for diabetes. The taro has vitamin C, vitamin A. You can look all this stuff up. It gets rid of free radicals. It aids in digestion, has vitamin A for your eyes. It fights cancer because the taro has vitamin C. Wow. I'm glad I tried this. I don't taste any of the, maybe I didn't put enough corned beef in here because I don't taste the corned beef at all. This is something I'll make again. Excuse me. I don't want any green slobber. Ruru. Taro leaf recipe from Fijians, from Fiji. I give it a 7 out of 10. So this is Jamaica 5288. You do not have to cook your taro like this. You can cook callaloo, Trinidadian callaloo with taro leaves, and I'll do that for you. I'm so used to eating the dish callaloo that, you know, there's different variations. The Jamaican way, it does not have a coconut milk. The Trinidadian way does. And it has shrimp in it. And it's really, really good. They're both good, but they're different. Just like this is different. This is sweet. And I don't mind sweet. I don't mind sweet. It's not so sweet that I'm like, ooh, it's too much. It's good. It's Jamaica 5288. Please like and subscribe. Do this. Ruru, look it up. And look up the benefits of taro leaves, or what some islands call callaloo. Or no, they don't call it callaloo. They call it dasheen. D-A-S-H-E-E-N, which is taro leaves. Same thing. So this is Jamaica 5288. Thank you for being with me today. This is the Fijian dish that I tried for the first time live on camera. I'll make it again, especially if there's some kids over here because they don't eat their vegetables, but they'll eat this because this does not taste like greens at all. Not at all. The only reason why they would know it's greens is because it's green. So I thank you all for being with me, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye. Girl, you're slobbing on yourself. This is good. Slow down.